So now you may be thinking, I already speak English, so why should I waste my time learning a crap language that's not even as good? Well, it's true that on average there isn't a lot of economic incentive for English speakers to learn a foreign language, and sometimes it can be hard to see the value in learning one. But I'm here to show you that 1. Not all foreign languages are crap, and 2. Learning the right language can open up a window of opportunity you would have never expected. And for this video, I'm going to forego the usual suspects, languages like Spanish and Chinese, because I believe they are totally overrated. For example, although Spanish is usually promoted as the most useful foreign language to learn because of the number of native speakers, these speakers are all concentrated in roughly 2 areas, South America and Spain, making it utterly useless if you plan to live and use the language anywhere else in the world. So with that in mind, let's get to it. Here are the 4 most useful languages to learn in 2024. 1. Ancient Greek. Learning ancient Greek can be intellectually illuminating, giving you direct access to the works of some of the greatest thinkers, storytellers, and public masturbators in history. With your newfound philosophical knowledge and insight, you'll be forced to ponder the big questions in life, such as, why the fuck am I learning a language whose speakers have been dead for well over 2,000 years? As many modern English words bear their origin in ancient Greek, knowing the language may actually improve your English vocabulary. So the next time you encounter words like heliolatry or xenodokainology, you'll probably save the 5 seconds it would take to look it up in a dictionary. And who said learning a dead language isn't useful? Now it is true that knowing ancient Greek will give you little economic advantage, but knowing ancient Greek makes it easier to pick up modern Greek, which will give you lots of travel opportunities, I guess. 2. French. If you can manage to stomach the Frenchness of it, numerous advantages of knowing the French language await. Firstly, learning French is easy for English speakers due to the lexical similarities. Many of the words look identical to the English equivalent when written. This is because they stole most of their words from us English speakers. And they didn't stop at individual words. Amidst their merciless plundering of the English language, they even lifted entire phrases and transplanted them directly into French. If that wasn't enough, they totally mangled the pronunciation of all their lexical loot. For example, they pronounce this English phrase as raison d'être, when it clearly should be pronounced as raison d'être. But even so, it's still similar enough for French to be learnt with relative ease. Learning French gives one access to freely experience the wonderful culture of France. There's so much to enjoy. The French, especially Parisians, are known for their delectable cuisine, lively periodic street parties and festivals, and the exceedingly warm, kind hospitality with which they welcome strangers and foreign tourists, especially those who attempt their language. If, like me, you're partial to an alcoholic beverage to help wash down your breakfast, you'll be happy to hear that France is renowned for the outstanding quality of its alcoholic grape juice. Furthermore, it is the birthplace of the world's most popular alcoholic soft drink, Champagne. Even if you don't intend on going to France itself, knowing French will prove its utility next time you take a trip to one of the many popular luxurious tourist destinations across the Sahel region in Africa, otherwise known as the Coup Belt, aptly named because you'd be cuckoo to want to holiday anywhere else. 3. North Korean. From the outside, North Korea can seem baffling and even frightening at times. But there are many aspects of knowing the language and living and working in North Korea that are easy to overlook if your information sources come from capitalist imperial dogs. Firstly, did you know that North Korea is leading the world in environmentally friendly economic policies? Whether it's taps that dispense water only twice a day, the astonishingly uncongested roads, or the restrictions on electricity use, a quick look at this satellite image of the globe at night attests to the regime's dedication to reducing the nation's carbon footprint. Even in the defense industry, there has been a clear shift in recent years towards carbon-neutral nuclear energy compared to more traditional, unclean firepower. For anyone considering living overseas, getting a visa can be one of the biggest hurdles. Even if you manage to obtain a visa, getting permanent residency isn't guaranteed, and finding work can be a real hassle. In North Korea, however, all you have to do is show up and you're likely to be welcomed with open arms. In fact, once you're there, they will actively discourage you from leaving, making obtaining permanent residency a walk in the park. If you have a valuable skill, you'll find no shortage of work. Particularly in demand in North Korea are vocations such as nuclear scientists, ballistic engineers, bronze sculpture artisans, and lethal injection specialists. But even if you lack expertise in a sought-after field, there's always demand for more manual labourers. 4. African. There is probably nowhere in the world more tragically misunderstood than the country of Africa. Tainted with cultural stereotypes and biased media representations, knowing the African language will help you to better understand Africa and all its unique cultures and regions such as Kenya, Ethiopia, and this one, to places like Egypt and Morocco. The main benefit of knowing African, the language spoken across the whole country, is in the numbers. The last 10 years alone have seen a 27.737% increase in the number of Africans, and if it continues to increase at this rate, by the year 2094, on the 23rd of February around noon, the population of Africa is expected to reach 14,571,333,934.5 people. If you compare that with the projected world population in 2094, this means that approximately 140% of the world's population will be African. To put this into perspective, if you have 5 children in 2024, by 2094, 7 of them will be African, and will likely only speak African. The population explosion, combined with the amount of valuable resources still buried across the country just waiting to be excavated, ensures a booming economy in a perhaps not too distant future. And knowing the local language could be your ticket to become one of those select few who profit from all this surplus wealth, because sure as hell the locals won't. So that's it. There were many more languages that regretfully I had to omit, but the ones I introduced in this video were those that, after long consideration and painstaking research, I believe hold the most merit in knowing. Thanks for watching.